winner then. He feels if he can play 70 games and keep his average under 2, he has a chance.
And in goal as the starter for the Campbell Conference from the Chicago Blackhawks, Ed Belfour. And this is his first All-Star game. 26 years old, his third year with the Blackhawks. Last season, a banner year, although he was on the trading block just before the start of last season.
Sure, Chicago thought about trading Belfour prior to his big season. Sometimes the best trades you make are the ones you don't make. It's that simple. And Eddie Belfour has been on a pretty good roll since.
And this is the first year that each squad will have 3 goaltenders and each will play 1 period. The referee is Don Korhusky, his 15th NHL season, his first NHL All-Star Game. The linesmen, Mark Perry and Mark Vines. And we are now finally set for the opening face-off. It has been a montage of ceremonies. The Campbell Conference, the visitors in the red, and the Wales Conference, the home team, in the white. And we get the call of icing right off the start, and they'll move it back for a face-off in the Wales Conference end.
Kevin Stevens starting on the left side of Mario Lemieux. Of the top 25 scorers right now in the National Hockey League, he has the most penalty minutes. And that's something that his head coach, Scotty Bowman, is trying to get him away from. Kevin, don't take the retaliation penalties. Just stay on the ice, and you'll be more and more and closer to Lemieux as far as scoring goes.
Apparently they called it an offside as Ray Bourque of the Boston Bruins controls. Lead out intended for Mario Lemieux. And Belfour able to turn it around the board. Kept in by Yager. Stevens breaking for the goal. Lemieux setting up. Mario Lemieux was a question mark because of a back problem. In fact, sat out 4 games. There's Gretzky with the rink wide intended for Brett Hull. We're just underway on the first period. Yager for Lemieux. Coffey. There are 4 members of the Pittsburgh Penguins on the ice right here in the starting lineup. Campbell Conference on the attack. Chelios. And Coffey able to clear it out. This is Luke Robitaille of the Los Angeles Kings as both clubs make changes on the fly. Crowd applauding because Rod Brindamore of the Philadelphia Flyers has stepped on for the first time. McGillney of Buffalo able to clear it. And that is an offside, so they'll bring it back.
New York Rangers extremely excited about the way that Mark Messier has been able to play for their club this season. Turns 31 years of age today. And he's 8 days older than Wayne Gretzky. We remember those two as teammates with the Edmonton Oilers over the years.
9th All-Star appearance for Mark Messier. A minute and 40 gone by in the first period. Brian Leach of the Rangers able to flip it ahead. This is Dave Elliott.
We haven't had a goal scored yet. In fact, we haven't had a shot on goal yet.
And Fellows cannot get to it. Here's Leach. And again, a offside pass with Messier cutting it on the right wing.
Ladies and gentlemen, throughout All-Star Weekend,
The only Philadelphia Flyer represented in the All-Star Game is Rod Brindamore. Very glad that he's had the opportunity to play a lot of center ice, which he has done here with the Philadelphia Flyers. He comes from an area in British Columbia, up in Canada, called Campbell River. It's one of the great salmon fishing areas of the world, and he's the only individual I know of from Campbell River who hates to fish.
All right, the Whales with Joe Sakic at center for Randy Burridge and Owen Nolan. Jeremy Roenick, the center for Trevor Linden and Brian Bellows. And Burridge gives it free, can't clear out of the zone. Wells having trouble getting out. Doug Wilson's shot was blocked. And And Linden keeps it alive. Roenick with the deep. And the save is made. Now Sakic clears the zone. And this is Owen Nolan of Quebec. Pass intended in front for Bourque. Nolan could not get to it. Nolan of Vancouver puts it behind for Doug Wilson of the San Jose Sharks. Now line change for the Campbells. Three natural centers on ice with Steve Yzerman, Theo Fleury, and Sergei Fedorov. Four minutes have gone by in this first period with no score. Al McGinnis of Calgary flipping it around the board. This is Adam Oates. Oates trying to set up Fleury. Here's Cullen. Unable to convert on the rebound. Good opportunity for John Cullen of Hartford. Nice wraparound attack. Ray Ferraro of the Islanders kept away by Ed Belfour. Leach. Brian Leach working the back line for Montreal's Eric Desjardins.
Wales Conference, you could call them the home team, the white jerseys. They've had the two best scoring chances so far. Nolan missed the net.
Nice setup. Kurt Muller was turned away by Belfour.
Two real good chances set up by Ray Ferraro. That one to Muller, he was robbed earlier. He set up the breakaway. And that too was stopped by the goaltender.
Now Brett Hall. Ball is out with Oates, his teammate, and Vincent Damphousse. 5:06 gone by in this first period. And surprise, no score. Well, some support for the Philadelphia Flyer representative, number 17, Rod Brindamore. The Pittsburgh Penguin line is on with Lemieux centering for Stevens and Yeager. Got Stevens and Kevin Hatcher on the back line. They work together as members of the Washington Caps. Here's Lemieux across the line. Stevens on the rebound. Another opportunity, and the backhander by Kevin Stevens was covered up.
We're 5.5 minutes into this game. We haven't had a goal scored, but Eddie Belfour is the reason why. Couple of great saves. Lemieux starts it. Stevens follows up his own shot. And the save on a rebound by Eddie Belfour. The last time we haven't seen a goal scored in 10 minutes of an All-Star game was way back in 1972.
All right, let's go to Bill Clement.
Anybody that heard the standing ovation that Bobby Clark got when he was introduced here before a Spectrum crowd knows what Bobby means to the group here in Philadelphia. I never asked you this, though. Do you have the same feelings for the fans here as they do for you?
Yeah, Billy, I certainly do. And anytime you get the appreciation that was shown to me, it's an unbelievable feeling.
It's difficult to come back in this building. Let's face it. Technically, you don't belong here now because you're the general manager of the North Stars. Emotionally, you probably belong here. Is it tough?
Well, it was tough last year, but this year I look forward to coming back. I still obviously have friends and loyalties to the city, and then I love it here.
You ever sat in one of these seats and watched a game?
First time I've ever sat in this building in a seat and watched the game. They're great seats, too.
Nice to see you back.
Thanks, Billy.
All right, Bill, good opportunity by Mario Lemieux just a moment ago. 6 minutes have gone by in this first period, and we have no score. Doug Wilson of San Jose on the back line with Chris Chelios of the Chicago Blackhawks. Scott Stevens. The Prince of Wales Conference in the white uniform. And the Campbells in the red. Bellows nearly pulled away. Now here's Stevens. This is Kevin Stevens from Mario Lemieux. Broken up by Doug Wilson. Stevens keeps it alive. The pass intended for Yager. And back come the Campbell. Here's an opportunity for Bellows. And the stick save is made by Patrick Roy.
Great pass from Fedorov to set up that scoring chance.
And again, it is Roy with the save. But it stops Sergei Fedorov. Here's Yager. Lost the handle as he cut in on Belfour.
Some of the European players starting to show some things. Yager, after this season, it'll be 2 complete seasons he's played in the National Hockey League. He'll have close to 150 points, and he won't yet be 20 years of age. 6'3", 215 pounds, and still growing. You're looking at a future franchise player. Fedorov with a great move in the neutral zone, set up a couple scoring chances.
And now Mark Messier of the Rangers at center for Alexander Mogilny and Rod Brind'Amour. Trevor Linden of Vancouver could not get to it. Stick checked away. Brian Trottier making his first appearance. This is Roenick of the Chicago Blackhawks with the spin move that received the reaction from the crowd. Linden for Roenick. For Larry Robinson, able to keep it alive. Linden chasing behind the goal. And Coffey pokes it away. Bourque feeds it out. Trottier taking the rink wide from Messier. Trottier gaining the line. Messier had his shot blocked. And back comes Roenick. The right wing feed for Linden. Linden with the burst. He scores! It is 1-0 for the Campbell Conference. Trevor Linden, in his 4th year as a member of the Vancouver Canucks, so instrumental in the Canucks' surprising season, able to beat Patrick Roy.
Not often do you see Patrick Roy stand up on a shot from that close in. Usually he's down on the knees in the butterfly position. He works the defenseman, moves in, and you see the low sliding shot as Desjardins, the Montreal defenseman, was beaten. Trevor Linden, who signed the richest contract ever for the Vancouver Canucks, gets the first goal here.
So the Campbells with a 1-0 lead.
Campbell Conference goal scored by number 17, Trevor Linden.
Announcement on the goal line.
7, Jeremy Roenick.
Norwich over skates. And here come the Campbells on the attack again, led by Dan Foose, the hero of last year's All-Star Game with 4 goals, which equaled an NHL record.
Jeremy Roenick, Mark Tenardi.
It is Linden from Roenick and Tenardi at 7:53. Forwards with the shot block. 11 and a half remaining. In this first period, the Campbells in the red uniform with a 1-0 lead. Here's Theo Fleury of Calgary. And Waugh got a piece of it. Now Brian Leach for the Rangers leading a 4-on-2. Forward down the left wing side. Leach and it's gloved by Belfour.
Great period so far for Eddie Belfour. Brian Leach with his setup. Great save by Belfour.
It's time for another opportunity to win it.
On a goal by Vancouver's Trevor Linden, assisted by Jeremy Roenick and Mark Tenardi. It's a 1-0 Campbell Conference lead. The Campbells in the red uniform. Now Gretzky playing with Hull. Robitaille is on the left wing. Gretzky centering with Hull on the right. Here's Ferraro of the Islanders, and it skips up into the Campbell Conference bench. Well, Bill Clement roving along the sideline and has come up with one of the celebrity captains. Let's go down to Bill.
Well, thanks very much, Marv. This celebrity captain is Jim Belushi, and he's the captain of the Chicago Blackhawks. Did you ever play this game?
No, I wanted to play, but my parents wouldn't let me. They didn't want me to play any kind of sport with a stick, you know. It was a little... Didn't want to hit anybody, you know. I had a little bit of a temper.
How's it going as captain of the Blackhawks?
It's going pretty good. It's been a lot of... I don't know, I've been picking up a lot of wet towels, sharpening skates, that kind of thing, you know.
Chicago's got a pretty good player. Tell me, it's number 27. What, Roenick?
Roenick. Jeremy Roenick. Yeah, he's a great player.
Okay.
Great player. Chicago's got a lot of players here today, actually.
You're not cheering for them, are you?
Yes, I am, and I'm a little upset at this crowd booing Chilios. I don't understand that. He's one of the great defensemen in hockey league, you know. I guess it was a fight a few years ago.
I guess it was. Thanks, Jim. Back to you, Marv.
All right, Bill, a nice cross-ice pass from Chelios for Hull. Jim Belushi, one of the celebrity captain of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Obviously, Mike Keenan has gotten to him, hasn't he?
All right, here is Wilson. Now Gretzky moving by Bourque. Set up for Hall, who shoots. And an arm save by Patrick Waugh.
There's two real good scoring chances during this shift for Fred Hall. He has yet to score an All-Star Game goal, and Patrick Waugh is the reason here in the first period. Great saves.
And now both clubs make changes on the move. 9.5 remaining in this first period. The Campbells lead it by the score of 1-0. Steve Yzerman putting the deep guard. Set up for McGinnis. Now McGinnis has that blistering shot. Won the hardest shot competition last night in the skills contest. Well, the Pittsburgh connection is on ice right now, but it's a 2-on-1 the other way, led by Fedorov. Set up. Fedorov trying to connect with Yzerman. Now the game is opened up. Yager for Coffey. He had Stevens in front. Now there was actually some contact.
And some good speed, real good speed.
Here is Fedorov.
Now the goaltenders have gotten off too easy so far anyway, Mark.
Well, I like the statement from Tim Shovelday of the Detroit Red Wings. We'll see later. Stevens scores! Kevin Stevens has certainly had his opportunities, and he's able to convert to tie the game at 1.
Well, the entire Penguin line on the ice. Yager on the right side, Stevens on the left, along with Mario Lemieux. Lemieux loves to go down the near side, as does Yager. Here's the play by Lemieux. Yager's in front. Stevens with a good low shot, beating Eddie Belfour to the stick side, and it's 1-1. You see Lemieux, he's able to read where the players are. A terrific shot just inside the goalpost, and they have a tie game.
The assist number 66,
Kevin
Mario
Stevens,
Lemieux.
a product of Boston College and the United States Olympic team out of Hodgkin, Massachusetts. 40-goal scorer last year, has 33 thus far this season. Messier with the setup for Mogilny. Game is tied at 1. It is Stevens, his second All-Star goal, with Yager and Lemieux assisting, and the time of the goal, 11:20. And the Wells continues to put the pressure on Messier with the setup in front for Trottier. 8 minutes to go in this first period, and Trevor Linden is ahead of the play and offside. It's the Wells and the Campbells tied at 1. We'll be right back. Centering for Buffalo's Alexander Mogilny, who has tremendous speed, and the veteran Brian Trottier. The Wells and the Campbells are tied at 1. This is Chris Chelios, broken up by Trottier. Chelios again able to break it up. Linden, who scored earlier. Roenick across the line, and the offside whistle is blown. Let's get back to Bill Clement.
Well, last night, the Coca-Cola Classic All-Star Friday Skills Competition took place. One of the events was the fastest skater. The fastest heat in the preliminary round was the battle of two Soviets, Sergei Fedorov of the Detroit Red Wings and also Alexander Mogilny of the Buffalo Sabres, with Fedorov edging Mogilny by less than 1/10 of a second. With defending champion Paul Coffey out of the race, the two met again in the final, and the rematch was not as close. Sergei Fedorov took the title of the fastest skater in the NHL with a time of 14.363 seconds. So the guys that were line mates in the Soviet Union before they hit the National Hockey League knew of one another's speed. Mogilny said he didn't think Fedorov was that fast, but he proved it to him last night. Marv?
All right, Bill, we're down to 7 minutes remaining in this first period. The Campbells and the Whales are tied at 1. Kevin Hatcher and Scott Stevens return to the back line.
Marv, Alexander Mogilny, who was involved in that fastest skating race, pulled a groin. He is playing this afternoon, but it is bothering him. And Scotty Bowman, the coach, was a little worried that he wouldn't be able to go. Yet he is here this afternoon.
All right, Stevens of the New Jersey Devils tries to go rink wide, then recovers. Now McGinnis of Calgary fires ahead for Adam Oates. Adam Oates in the midst of a contract squabble. Many questions concerning his future with the St. Louis Blues.
He will not report Monday to practice in St. Louis.
Oh, good setup. However,